In my last video, I told you guys that weather teams other than sand are very rare in UU. Well, that's because Hippopotas is the only thing in tier that can set up a permanent weather. The question is a permanent weather really necessary to use a weather team? Today I bring you the answer in form of UU match against a guy by the name of JBa11zz. My team, even though it doesn't look like it, is a semi-rain team with 4 things benefiting from it in different ways. Meanwhile, his team has some common UU threats as well as a Suicune, which always causes troubles. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into a battle. I lead with Winterfresh in case he wants to set up spikes right on the start with Roserade, but instead he leads with Raikou. I go for an Ice Beam as he sets up a sap and I don't want him to set up any Calm Minds, so I break his sap immediately with another Ice Beam and take a Stab Thunderbolt like it's my job. Now I figure he will probably switch out, so I do the same thing and go to my Bronzong just to set up rocks. He switches to Rotom Heat, which is just as good check for Bronzong as it is for Articuno. I set up rocks as he goes for a Will-O-Wisp, probably predicting my Kingdra, but he doesn't know yet that it is special attacker. I stay in with Bronzong and get wrecked by Overheat, but it allows me to go to Azelf and set up the Rain. He Volt switches to Sharpedo, but it doesn't do much with -2 special attack. Now though I switch to Kingdra predicting a Protect, but he just goes for a Crunch. Joanne Jet proves that she loves rock and roll, outspeeds him even after speed boost and destroys with Specs Draco Meteor, but now he is able to set up a layer of spikes with his Roserade on my switch. I switch to the Beetle, just one of the band, and threaten him with Megahorn, but instead I pursued him and do a good chunk on the switch. In comes Lady Suicune and I'm thinking, oh my god, how am I going to break through this thing? I decided to switch to my wall to his wall, if that makes any sense to you, because with 4 times resistance to water and Stab Giga Drain I have an advantage in that situation. He realizes that, switches to Roserade again, and because Ice Beam does barely more damage than he recovers with Giga Drain, I switch to Articuno to take another one, but he predicts that and sets up another layer of spikes. He switches to Suicune again to sponge an Ice Beam, but I go for Hurricane instead and score a very handy crit which saved me many turns of stalling because I had only a little chance of 2-hit KOing it otherwise, and relying on 70% accuracy isn't the best idea either. Now he brings his Rotom again, and I knew that I must keep Articuno alive to have a counter to his Flygon, so I switch to Kingdra as a death fodder and then bring it back because he indeed goes to his Flygon. Surprisingly he outspeeds me even though I have a Choice Scarf, which immediately tells me that he is Choice Scarf as well. So I go back to Ludicolo, but go for a Scald rather than Ice Beam, predicting a Rotom, which is now dead. In comes Roserade again and gets a critical hit Giga Drain, which allows him to take my Ice Beam, which freezes him, but he thaws out immediately and finishes me with another Giga Drain. I go back to Azelf and easily finish his flower with a Psyshock, but he still has Flygon and Raikou left, and I know that to win this game, my Heracross needs to survive 1 outrage after a Spikes damage. He goes back to Flygon and goes for a U-turn, which was a smart play because if that would kill me, I would be forced to lock my Heracross on a close combat, lower my defenses, and then he would be able to easily take me down with an outrage. Mastermind though decided that he is not going down that easily, survives a U-turn and kills Raikou on the switch. So once again in comes Flygon, and right there he most likely misclicked, have gone for an Earthquake, and because of Levitate I'm able to kill him with 2 Psyshocks and take the game. So good game JBa11zz, I actually ran the calcs and without that misclick it would really come down to the wire. Anyway, that is it for now, like, comment, blah blah blah, and I see you all next time.